Yeah, a whiff of panic and a whiff of violence. It's not football otherwise.
Why have you kidnapped Julian Draxler?
Yeah. 4 holiday beers is the perfect number of go-to-the-game beers.
Hello and welcome to the My Beautiful Game podcast, where we get our guests to design their perfect day out at the football. My name's Matt Connor Simpson. I'm joined by Monday Owl's original funky uncle, Asad Raza.
Hello.
And the man who makes talking about football tactics fun, or he tries to anyway, Mr. Adam Clery.
Hello.
Adam.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. I apologise for the heat. I do not control the sun.
I'm so glad you've addressed that before we started. I was like, do I have to get a mention of this in at some point?
Yeah, this is a London heat wave, the worst of all the heat waves, probably. Right, let's dive right into it. What 2 teams are we going to go watch, Adam?
Right, so I don't know if this breaks the format already, but I have given this considerable thought.
Can't be broken
okay? I don't know if you're aware, but people from Newcastle have an inbuilt level of like exceptionalism in them. Like, oh, every club thinks they're special and different and unique, but we really do. Not like everybody else does.
Adam's from Newcastle.
Adam from Newcastle thinks that being from Newcastle is special and unique.
Yeah.
And having moved out of the region and gone like covered football, seen it all over the world, it's done is reinforce my belief that actually Newcastle is really special. So I could have come on here and done the really stereotypical Newcastle thing and be like, well, I'm going to see Newcastle United, mate, and I'm going to watch them at St James's Park.
I'm going to take my top off.
I would take my top off and I'm going to go on with the 3 lads I've been watching since school with, and I'm going to go out to the 3 pubs round the corner from the ground. Actually, there's 118 pubs within a mile of Newcastle, which is a British football record. So I'm not going to do all that because you'll get someone else on who'll do that at some point.
Yeah. Sam Fender, maybe.
If he's available.
If you're listening.
I think the best 2 teams to go watch a game of football with, you don't know those teams before you go. Like the best game of football you ever go to is the one you accidentally go to on holiday. So the trick is, the best games I've ever been to, and I would happily recreate in a heartbeat, are you go somewhere and the local team does not have the same name as the place. So it never occurred to you to even look for there being a team there.
Yeah, very good.
Those are the best ones. And so like you go somewhere where it's like, there's a bit of culture if you want to pretend you're interested. There's an art gallery. There's an exhibition about a painter or something like that. Yeah. But then you find out that on Saturday, actually there's a 2,500 seat stadium right in the centre of town. And everybody's going to go. You bin everything off and you go to that. That's the perfect game. The first time I ever did it was in Barcelona with a couple of friends. And one person's job was get us tickets to the Barcelona game. That was it. That was the only responsibility. Transpired. He didn't tell us till we got on the plane. Oh, by the way, you know, I said they're playing on the Saturday. They're playing away. So we haven't got that. And we were like, you've ruined this entire holiday for us. So we were in a bar called Manchester, weirdly, in Barcelona. I don't know if it's still there. And we got talking to some locals and they were like, oh, well, you can't go to the Barcelona game. You can either watch it here with everybody else, or you could go to the UA Sant Andreu game. And we were like, who are? So we ended up deciding to go to that. But like the venue was just not what we were expecting at all. It was like, like a school playing field that someone had like got 2 football stands off eBay from like a USA varsity high school football team and then just plonked them down in between 2 blocks of houses. And it was just amazing. So every time I've ever gone on holiday since, I try not to research it beforehand because then you lose the surprise. Yeah, for sure. But if you're there and you find a team playing when you're there, like that is the whole reason you go on holiday, I think.
I remember being really hungover, like 17, 18, and ending up somehow at an AEK Athens, like under 21s game. And then it was similarly like, basically it was like an AstroTurf pitch. Just like...
Where was that?
Athens.
Yeah, it's always good when it's got a different name to say.
No idea who they're playing, what's happening. Just me and like 5 of my mates just staring and hanging out of our asses.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm talking about Leicester.
I do completely get what you mean, because you can sort of create narratives for yourself. You've seen these players for the first time. It's like, I bet he's had a great season. Oh, he's struggling today. Wonder what's going on.
We did it in Tenerife once as well. I think it's like, is it Las Palmas playing Tenerife or somewhere in the Canary Islands? That's where we were. And the exact same thing happened like 2 or 3 years later. We didn't realise the game was on. We went to that and it was just like the same sort of like, I don't even know what the word is for it, but just you get so immersed in it, having not had any association with the club. You don't even feel like an affinity with the town because you're only using its bars and its hotels. You don't live there or work there. But all of a sudden you get into the stadium and like all the locals are there. It's not really a touristy area because the club's so far down that country's footballing pyramid. They're not expecting to cultivate to like 100, 200, 1,000 sort of people who are coming across. And there's like a list of like 7 clubs I always look out for the results for, like all on the sofa score.
Oh, that reminds me of that great weekend. Brilliant.
You fall in love with clubs so easily because like football works so hard to make you not like it, and you're constantly having to push against that to do it. But like the little insights you get into it, like I don't know the history or the finances or how the relationship between the fans and the board and all this stuff. But like for one night you were there and everyone's having a nice time. And it's very welcoming and you feel a part of it and you get into it as you would with any other game. Yeah, and it's the best part about A, holidays and B, football.
And when you're on holiday as well, Adam, you're just so like conducive to new ideas as well. You're so happy. Like,
that's it.
Like,
I do think a lot of like football fandom in this country is defined by its sort of like its own suffering.
Yeah.
Like you persevere, you know what I mean? And you put up with stuff and it's a routine and it's loyalty and you'll go through thick and thin. Whereas like, I don't know if it's just because the weather is nicer, but you tend to find, especially further down the footballing pyramids across Europe, people go because they enjoy it.
Yeah, all the fans are happy.
Almost exclusively, they just go because it's a nice time, not because like they've been going for 30 years and it's a moral weakness if they then don't go.
It's better if there's a language gap as well, so you can.
Oh, that's brilliant! Yeah, that's the best bit.
Saying. He looks very angry, isn't that guy?
He's animated. Must be a very happy man. Yeah.
So, did you have 2 clubs specifically in mind, or was it just more of a general vibe?
Yeah, like the thing is, you could do it for anybody. Like, there's been a couple of like work trips I've been on which have sort of been similar. But I've just come back from Annecy in France, which is like one of the first. I've not seen them play yet because both the times I've been out there, the games haven't been on, but. Like I've been up to the ground, I've like been around the stadium, I had the best ever Football Manager save of my life playing as them. And I weirdly feel this like massive affinity with the club, even though like I don't know any of the songs, I've never been to the stadium. Actually, well, I have been to the stadium. I did break into the stadium when I was there. Not break in, because it wasn't locked, but it certainly wasn't open, if that makes sense. I went in as far as I felt like brave enough to go in.
Yeah.
How far was that?
It was actually to the chairman's office.
Far enough.
Stole several €1,000, but yeah.
I think if you can get any sort of team that's like 2nd or 3rd division, maybe had a little brief spell.
Oh yeah.
Like you remember them. They've maybe had 1 or 2 players that are famous, but now they're falling on hard times, but the fans are still there. They're always the best ones to do.
Yeah. That's where Platini actually started.
Stuff like that.
Something like that.
I always have to be the nerd in that situation that knows that.
Yeah.
It is good if it sort of comes up naturally.
So Annecy, is that you said?
Annecy, yeah. It's in like just below Switzerland.
Yeah. Have we got an opponent for him? Or you're easy either way.
Well, this is the thing. So what you want, ideally for the perfect game, is a team who are better than them.
Yeah.
Any game you want to be at home in the evening against a team who are better than them but still beatable.
Yeah.
That's what you always want. If there's a bit of local needle in it, so you learn a little bit about the region, you learn what flavour of hatred they've got in that part of the world. That's even better.
What's your favourite insult?
Yeah, I'm not going to say an So if there's a bit of that, if there's a bit of history, there's a bit of backstory, that makes it all the better. But you just want the home fans to be going in nervy, but up for it. You don't want it to be like a massive underdog situation. You want it to be like, if we turn up, whatever this is in French or Spanish or Italian, if Donde está turn up, we will beat them. It's like, where is turn up? That's completely wrong, isn't it? It's fine. What's your audience share in Spain?
Oh, well, very high, I'd imagine. Very high. Especially after that.
Finally, some Apologento. So you want that kind of situation. So it's like an evening game, ideally. Beautiful summers. I mean, they're all summer's nights when you go on holiday. Like, there's never bad weather. Sure, stars are out. All of this. That's what you want. The state, the lights are all on. You can see you see the stadium from some part of the town you've not even been in yet. You're walking through some really ropey part that you would never have gone to on the holiday. But you're not worried because you're with loads of people who are all waving the same kind of flag, so you're safe in the number. Something like that, and you get there and you just want to feel that nervousness. You just want to feel that sort of like aggression and that sort of like up for itness, but you also want that sort of like could be a doing here. This
a whiff of violence,
a whiff of panic, and a whiff of violence. It's not football otherwise.
So you've painted a beautiful image there of you just sort of looking down onto this stadium.
4 pints at this point, by the way. 4 pints at this point, by the way.
What does this stadium look like? Are we just at Annecy Stadium, or are we doing some sort of weird?
It could be It could be Rotterdam. It could be Annecy. It could be anywhere. There's a fundamental difference between like all the stadiums in that part, that sort of level of football in Europe, and all the stadiums over here. Because annoyingly, we perfected football stadiums 100 years ago. Like we got the formula absolutely correct in like 1904. or whatever it was.
Leach again, lad.
Yeah, just like nice and compact, round the pitch. Don't try and make it an athletics club. Nobody's asked about running. The kids don't need to do judo here. Like, just don't bother with it. Just get everybody in, as many as you can, and then every single club in England and Scotland just built the right size stadium, more or less, for their fan base 100 years ago, and it's been pretty much the same ever since. Whereas you go like to any of these lower league grounds in Europe, and every single one of them's got some mad story about how it's there or how it's this size. And they will all feature, without exception, some sort of like just design flaw that should never, ever be allowed to be incorporated into a football stadium. Which again, if you were going through the sleet and the rain and the cold as a season ticket holder in England, you would hate and you would lobby to change.
Half the stadium's completely open to the sea.
Well, exactly. Oh, the wind gets in, the litter gets in, it's awful. But when it's like in Europe, everyone's just enjoying themselves. It's quite a nice little twist. Like Como's it's a good example of that. Because if you were going to build a football stadium by one of the most beautiful lakes in the world, you wouldn't put the lowest down, like, I think it's like, it's been condemned, the stand by the sea. It's like 5 tiers high. So everybody else in the stadium's like watching the game, and then your eyes just wander to the lake, and then you go back to the game, and then your eyes wander to the lake, and then it goes back to the game. Like, it's so distracting. It's not how you would ever build it. Like, even the Annecy Stadium, the actual size of the stadium is much bigger than the actual football bit. Because again, there's a running track, there's an athletics club, there's a tennis court, there's all of this. So you go in and there's just like a mound that you go in overlooks the pitch. It's like really far back from where the stands actually are. But like they have like little hot dog stands there. So you can just stand on this like raised bit of ground and watch the game from there, like really far away from the seats. Can you imagine if that was in England? Like the abuse people who stand on that bit and watch the game would get. Nah, not real fans. Oh, see, they've just turned up now. I wouldn't be letting them in. I wouldn't be letting them in. So what you want is not any one thing, but you just want to see something in a stadium you would never see back home. Whether it's, you ever see the thing that was all over the internet ages ago where the train track goes in front of the stand? Can you imagine how much we'd whinge about that in England if we had that?
We found that's it. That's what I want. Like, that's so good.
You're never going to see that anywhere, but you can almost imagine the story of why that had to be there in that stadium, and they had to just put the stand behind it, and that's just what that club is.
Do you know what's very European as well? That train won't stop at that stadium.
No.
10 minutes outside.
I bet it's so convenient. It's like, not really. You've got to walk 25 minutes back in the wrong direction, actually.
I bet it's really well priced, though.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I bet it's incredibly reasonably priced, though.
Always on time as well.
Right, Adam, who's joining you on the ghost train? Who are we?
Oh, this is the one bit I'm going to be stereotypical about. You know, there's nothing worse than people who just bang on about school.
No.
They never got over school, and they just talk about school.
It's very different in Newcastle.
Well, like I said, it is. It's different there. This is the one bit I'm going to go with. More or less, all of these holidays have at some point just been with a collection of friends you've known for a very long time. Ideally, the ones you've been going with from school. So in an ideal world, you'd end up in this scenario with the people you just went. I don't know. Who's your most frequent holiday collaborators? Who do you normally go away with?
Collaborators. Wow, that sounds so.
My friends from uni usually.
Yeah, I'd say.
Great.
Yeah, my mates.
How long have you known them?
8 years now.
Brilliant. Perfect.
My mates from home, so 16 years. I completely understand.
What you want is like the inbuilt law of the group to be really strong. Yeah. So that whenever you go with this game, it's like, well, let's not have a repeater last time, remember?
Banter.
You need stuff like that because you just know at some point someone's going to either up the ante or rewrite something. Yeah. There'll be some carry on because everyone's comfortable with each other. Nobody's trying to impress each other. We're all sacking off the museum. Yeah. No one's got to try and sort of agonize over it. We'll just go on the football on Saturday night. That's what you want. So Nick, Dan, Josh, and Richie, if you're watching, that's who I'd ideally be going with.
Some people have refused to name him. I'm like, no, name him. I want to know.
Name and not shame.
I'm going to say, I'm not going to bore people with that. It's like, nah, come on. We want to know your child.
Got no mates, have they? Got no mates.
Names, date of birth.
They all went to different schools. You guys wouldn't know them. You wouldn't know them.
Did you? I know it's. I don't want to go on about Newcastle again, but it is quite hard to get Newcastle tickets. Always has been. Did you manage to go with that group of people?
There was a period where it wasn't hard.
Yeah,
that was when Mike Ashley was running the club, and you could pretty much just go whenever you wanted. Now it's I don't even know what the rules are at the minute. It's something like a membership for a waiting list to be in a ballot to enter a competition.
Yeah, that's what.
And then there's some kind of physical assault course you've got to do. And
total wipeout style. Yeah,
which is another one that's very annoying. But on the other hand, because I'd like stadiums that fundamentally don't work or are broken or unique, I'm so anti-build a new stadium. Like, I just don't want them to do it. I want to be able to complain about St James's Park for the rest of my natural life. I don't want the problems to be solved.
Yeah, it's like me with Old Trafford. I like it. It's got a leaky roof. Keep it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You would never build a leaky roof. But it's got one. That's character and that's charm.
So we know who we're going with. I think you've explained that very, very well. And what are we getting up to before, Adam? What's your pre-match ritual?
Well, again, you're on holiday. You're on holiday. There's no work. You know what I mean? You haven't got to worry about times or arrangements or logistics. You're just with everybody to begin with. I think that's vital for this.
Yeah.
You want to go to start wherever it was you learned about the game happening.
Yeah.
Because that tends to, there's a good luck omen to that. If it was in a bar, restaurant, where it was down by the beach, go there to start, pick it back up exactly where you left off when the idea first came in your head. And then, as I said before, I think 4 beers on holiday. 4 holiday beers is the perfect number of go to the game beers, especially if they're like, you know, them really cold, quite flat, but like quite lemony Spanish ones you get. 4 of them, because you're hydrated as well. They had them did you go to any of the World Cup games?
In Qatar.
Sorry, the Euros games.
No.
The beer was terrible in Qatar. The Euros games. I don't know if it was just the England games, but they specifically only sold 2% beer in the stadium. So we got there and Peter was so cross about it. And I was like, oh, it's, you know, what a nanny state situation. Like, we can't be trusted. 1 sip of that 2% lemony beer, as in love. It was an absolute perfect long day at the match drink. So you want 4 of them, some kind of local delicacy for your dinner, or just like some like sweaty, whatever the approximation of a sweaty burger and chips fan is, that's also fine. You're on holiday, it doesn't matter, eat whatever you want. And then you want to get the timing right to walk up to the ground.
So we're definitely walking. There's no width of a party bus or a coach or a train, anything like that.
What we're talking about here is ideally like 2nd or 3rd division. Mainland Europe teams, right? None of them have big enough stadiums that they've got to have public transport to the ground, right? They're always walkable, and they're always walkable through the ropiest areas imaginable. And that is part of the appeal, because you've got to have that slightly elevated heart rate when you get in.
Something could turn.
So you can understand everybody else, because you don't care about the result. You'll care as the game goes on, which we'll get to. But it doesn't matter on the way in. So worried that you might get mugged or your sunglasses are going to get pinched in the way up to the ground. I think that's quite important for getting psychologically into the right mindset.
Well.
That's exactly what you want. 4 damn limons and a bit of adrenaline. That's what's for dinner.
And so we're here. We've walked through the streets.
We have.
With our 4, let's say 4%.
4%. Yeah, we've checked the pockets. We're good.
Pockets, so nothing in there.
You've got the room key.
No, I thought you had the room key. No. You had the room key.
See, it's classic, right? It's selfish.
And how's this first half going?
So this is the important bit. This is the 100%. Important bit, right? So what you want, and remember, you've got to be going in as a slight underdog situation. I should say, in an ideal world, but this is like fantasy stuff. The chances of getting this are unlikely. What you want in the home team, to your surprise, as you get the team sheet or you see it get announced, is you want some sort of 38 or 39-year-old lad, either up front or at centre-back, who you either remember from one unbelievable World Cup game years ago, or just some completely random, like, Premier League loan spell. There were like 12 games up front for Leicester, 1 goal against like West Brom or something.
Amazaki or something.
Something like that.
I'd love to see Amazaki.
This is the really nerdy bit. You want someone else in the team that one of you had on Football Manager.
That's
not everybody. One of you had, and some old save and remembers them from that.
Ideally with no face pack, I would say.
This is the first time you've ever seen them.
Where is he?
They were like 18 or 19 when you had them, and they're now like 32. They had like the really good speed stats on the game, and now they're not getting out the centre circle, something like that.
Great conversation. Oh, I won the Champions League with you. So I didn't win the Champions League in my real career. Unfortunately.
Thanks. Cheers for that.
Out of League 2.
That must happen a lot to like random players on the continent, like pissed British tourists coming up and being like, "You were my captain to back-to-back Champions Leagues." Like, thanks.
I wonder what Yassine Benzia is doing nowadays.
It's very like sort of like a stag do idea that could either go so well or so badly. It's like, I'm going to go to my favourite Football Manager, 18-year-old that I saw. I'm going to go watch his new team play. We're going to handcuff him at the groom's wrist. I've organised a meet and greet after the game. The groom doesn't know anything, and he just turns up and he's like, "What are these? English people doing?
Why have you kidnapped Julian Draxler?"
It's so much better if they're like their heads in a bag and they pull it off. They're like, "Congratulations!"
Sorry, I didn't get the face pack. Didn't have the gigabytes. It's just a blank, amorphous black blob for me.
Please let me go. That's please let me go, gaffer. The first half, quite aside from possible criminal proceedings, what you want is them to go in behind as the result of a serious refereeing injustice.
Yeah.
So you want like a goal completely wrongly disallowed, where in all the sort of commotion, the other team goes straight up the other end and scores. And they've brought a good couple of away fans. So there's a racket going on as a result. And all of a sudden, everyone's blood's up again. And then you want a determined but fruitless effort in that first half that ends again with another worse refereeing injustice. Like someone's clean through and gets pulled back. Referee tells him to get up, something like that. You want that, and you want to find out just how hot the heads of the people in this stadium can get at halftime. You want to be going for that halftime beer, and nobody's having a good time anymore. Like that's what you want. Like the where there's a carnival atmosphere going on, you just want silence at that kiosk. You want everybody sort of looking around, brows furrowing. So you're starting to wonder, like, could this kick off? Yeah. Like you're sort of like you're counting the number of police per head. Like, doesn't look like enough, you know. If this goes off, there's not enough Garda here to sort this out. That's the thought you want to have in the back of your mind.
And any food at half time as well?
Just what they've got. Just what they've got. Ideally, with the food and drink in the stadium, you want to not know what the food is. Yeah. Like everybody's recommending the thing and you've never heard of it. Yeah. The name doesn't even give away what it is. Yeah. But because you're 4 pints of lemony beer in, it's absolutely superb with some like paprika fries just served along with it randomly. That's the first time I ever had currywurst was in that situation.
Really? Yeah.
I'd never had it. It was just in a football stadium and I was like, God, can't be that bad, I guess. I've heard of it, certainly. And I was like, this is the only way I ever want to consume sausage and paprika
it's actually
as
amazing.
long as I live. Yeah. So you want something like that where you come back and you can never, ever get it properly again. Like I've never had good currywurst in this country.
Yeah. We did a story on St. Pauli and in the press bit, there was literally all they had for food. I mean, you've had food in this country.
I bet that currywurst goes off at St. Pauli.
All they had though, just 2 trays of currywurst. That's it.
Incredible.
Great.
And a few bread rolls, actually.
Great. I'm there. I'm there.
Producer Jay is whooping because he's been taken back there.
See, something like that is exactly what you want. Like food you'd never get in an English stadium. And if you did, you certainly wouldn't get it well. Ideally, you're not entirely sure what it is when it gets served. The same should be the same for the beer as well, by the way. You should not have heard of the brand of beer they serve in that stadium.
I fucking adore that. It's just turn up somewhere. It's just like, what does it taste like? I just taste like Pilsner. Actually.
Just great, What is it? Just beer? It's just beer.
Beer with a lemony top. Brilliant.
Yeah. Great. Ideally, there should be like that beer brand should make up about 10% of all the sponsorship around the stadium as well. But crucially, not the kit.
Yeah.
Oh, it's like Superbock in Portugal.
Superbock. I went to Porto last season and I just drank Superbock.
I know.
And I was like, do I like this? Do I like this? I don't know.
Yeah, that was
in Porto. That's basically all I was drinking. It was great.
Yeah. Amazing stuff. You're really taking me there.
Well, this is way. It's so 32 degrees outside. I thought it was like over a 10-hour nice holiday.
Yeah. So how is the second half going? This is where it needs to be salvaged because otherwise you're going to end up with a bloody nose.
Well, you're having you're having a good time, but like the holiday's on the tipping point here. Like the holiday itself's on a knife edge because you've really got geared up for this, and you don't want to you don't see a goal, you see the team get beat. It's kind of a bit of it's a flat way to enjoy what could be the best night of the holiday. You want the only bit of rain you see in 5 days for exactly 20 minutes at the start of the second half. You don't want to know where it's come from. There's not a cloud in the sky. It doesn't even make any sense. Yeah. But you just want that little bit of Hollywood because you're in an open bit of a stadium. Yeah, for sure. There's all of a sudden there's another consideration going on. Everything starts to feel like it's life and death. But crucially, it moistens the pitch and it quickens up. It quickens up the game at the start of that second half. Just long enough, not to become a thing, but just gets that ball rolling. Yeah. It gets the slide tackles flying in, which, this could be a dry, arid sort of Canary Islands pitch that's watered twice a year. Yeah. Now all of a sudden you've got 39-year-olds like ex-West Ham striker throwing himself into challenges with the keeper. That's what you want. You want a goal around the hour, an equaliser. And don't get me wrong, you could go wild here and be like, then it gets to 4-3 and all this. But being realistic, you want that goal around the hour, and then you want it to start to feel like they've just left it a little bit too late. The chances come, the chances go. There's an absolutely you want a glorious moment 82 minutes in that gets skied over the bar, and it's like any reasonable football fan's like, you did all the hard work, that was it. And because, that's why he scored 1 goal on loan to West Brom in 2004.
Yeah.
That's no wonder he hasn't taken it. But then, and this is so greedy, you want like an injury time winner. Yeah. Which I imagine everybody you get on this podcast is going to say that that's the ultimate way to enjoy a game of football. Nobody really enjoys a 5-0 unless it's against a team you despise, by which point you've stopped watching the game at 3 anyway. Some sort of injury time winner that is the only bit of technical brilliance you see in that entire game. I don't want any good passes. I don't want like step over. I don't want to see, I want it to look like a bad game of football until somehow, some way, someone does like a left foot.
Someone pulls out a Trivella into
just a volley, any kind of volley at the back post, something where you can hear the ball coming off his foot.
Is that your favourite job? Because there's sort of 2 people in the world, isn't there? The dribblers and the people who like big balls kicked really hard into the goal. What's your favourite genre of
big balls kicked really hard into the goal? Don't get me wrong, I much prefer a dribbler over like little passing nerds. Like little passing nerds have ruined football in my opinion.
Batinha,
like 5 yards, that maybe that's it. I hate that.
No, take it past like 2 players and get fouled.
Run, and when you can't run anymore, kick it really hard. That's all football should be, and that's what you get further down the footballing pyramid. That's all they can do. Which makes it like so much better. So you want the only good technical moment to be that winning goal in the last minute, and that's it. That's it. Maybe like a minute after that, so there's just enough time for them to have to put a couple of reducers in, just look down for a bit. The other team who's been like battening down the hatches for the entire second half, suddenly they're trying to come out and they're getting goaded by the home fans. That's sort of the perfect ending. But so long as you get that sort of like, no way in hell did I think I would see a goal like that in this game moment. That's it.
And what are the scenes like? Are you wanting limbs, or are you wanting to be surveying the limbs from a slightly higher point?
Oh, great question.
From the mound.
From the mound, maybe.
I think you want to be surveying the limbs of the equaliser from the mound.
Because you might feel like, you might.
But you want to be providing the limbs for the winner. Because if you didn't do that, can you say you really went?
Yeah, that's true.
It's a bit Napoleon surveying his troops, that just watching the limbs happen. I
just think if you come home from a holiday, like the football game was amazing, all the winning goals in the 92nd minute, the Josh Adam football manager scored a volley at the back post. There was limbs everywhere. It's like, oh really? What were they like? Like, oh, they looked pretty good. Why go?
I got loads of videos.
Why go? You're not going to make any friends doing that way.
So limbs have settled down. You're still on holiday, of course. How are we seeing out this beautiful game?
Well, this
what
is
are
what
we doing afterwards.
This is why the limbs are important. You need to end up in warm, sweaty embraces with complete strangers who then find out you're not from here, and yet you are one of us now. We've shared this experience together. This is one of the greatest nights in my life, and I've shared it with you, Paul from Wallsend. So you want to be invited back to some place that people go, where the people go.
Not the tourists.
Not the tourists, where the real fans locals, go. And then the ropey area doesn't feel like a ropey area anymore because suddenly you're
Everyone's
actually in with everybody. You're actually a local now. And you get back and you just stay there until somebody tells you that you've had enough.
Is it someone's gaff then? That's what you want?
God, no. I'm too old for the back of the gaff.
A little taberna that the locals go to,
10 or 11's absolutely fine for me at this point. Just long as you get back. As soon as the town starts winding down, that's when you should start winding down because you've seen everything by that point.
Yeah, that's true. Just a couple of beers then.
Just a couple of beers.
I guess it is a small town because I was going to say places in Europe tend to stay open quite late. Like there was a bar in Porto.
When the town goes to bed, we go to bed. That's up to them. That's up to them.
So could be 7 a.m.
It could be 2 or 3 a.m.
No, God, no, not at this age. Not at this age.
Well, I hope that's made you want to go on holiday. It certainly made me want to go on holiday. Yeah. Adam Clery, thank you so much for joining us and telling us all about your My Beautiful Game.
Thank you so much. I'm sweating enough that I feel like I'm on holiday. I've got the full holiday experience. It feels like we should now be going out for like 4 unpronounceable beers.
Oh, we can arrange that. Don't you worry about that.